Hello friends, my name is Vince Burlapp, and today we are looking at the top-of-the-line touring hybrid version of the new 2023 Honda Accord. Outside, the touring model has larger wheels than the more basic EX version I was talking about a few weeks ago. And they do improve somewhat the rather boring 1990s looking design of the car. The new Accord could be anything from Toyota or Nissan, or even some Chinese brand we've never heard of. Even the rear lights have a 1990s Toyota Camry feel to them. Nothing new inside, since it's basically the same interior design you'll find in the Honda Civic or CR-V. There is a lonely volume switch lost on top of the dashboard. It is very small and looks a bit like a pimple. And I am not a fan of pimples on my face or anywhere else for that matter. As you can see, I am a big fan of buttons that I can push to start a car without knowing what I'm doing. I do get confused easily. For a $39,000 car, the interior is just okay and not as nice as the previous generation. It's a little sad in here. Everything is dark gray everywhere. Here is that dashboard pimple again, annoying me and taunting me at the same time, like an old mistress or admirer. Just like in the much cheaper EX model I drove earlier, the center armrest is not adjustable. Although, unlike the cheaper EX, the rear seats have air conditioning vents. That means no more tears on hot days. While there is plenty of legroom, the sides of the seats are strangely shaped and actually push the side passengers into the middle of the seat, which makes the whole thing very uncomfortable for three. You could quickly end up with people fighting back there, fighting for space as they are desperately trying to make room for themselves without killing one another. I predict despair as well as low-grade violence in some very particular situations. On the road, the new Accord Hybrid is very quiet, but not as comfortable or substantial as the previous model. And the steering is now very light and not as pleasant as before. The steering wheel itself is also a bit thinner, like if it had to go on a weird and cruel diet. The new Google infotainment on the larger screen is quite snappy, but it doesn't offer satellite radio, which is a real shame, as I always eagerly look forward to 1970s Top 10 on the fantastic 70s on 7 Sirius station, especially when I test drive a new car, since I am too cheap to get it on my own car. This is actually quite infuriating and disappointing. As I mentioned before, I did prefer the previous generation of the Honda Accord, but for those who don't require excellence and value an anonymous design with a slight hint of 1990s, this could be the perfect car.